Okay, I'm going to show you question number 1. I've already worked it, but I'm going to show you how to work it using the formula. So if you want the 20th percentile, the first thing you need to do is you need to click on this and you need to click on Open Excel. And I've already opened it in Excel and I've already sorted this, but what you would want to do is if you wanted it from largest to smallest, this is how you would do it, but we want it from smallest to largest, and we want the 20th percentile. So the 20th percentile is 20 over 100, or 0.20. You could put 0.20 or just 0.2 times however many numbers you have. The 20th percentile times your 8 numbers. So 1.6 is the 20th percentile. But what we want to do is we're going to round it up. If it is over 1, no matter if it's 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, we are going to round that up to the second number. So the second number here would be 23. So 23 is in the 20th percentile. Now for the 40th percentile, you would do 0.40 times 8 because we still have 8 numbers. So the 40th percentile would be, we would round that up to the 4th number, which is 40. And then the next one would be for the 70th percentile. So for the 70th percentile, you would do 0.7 times 8, which would round up to the 6th number. And the 6th number is the 66th. And this is how you work the percentiles. You take the percentage, like if it's the 20th, you do 0.2, if it's the 40th, you do 0.4, and if it's the 70th, you do 0.7, and you times it by the total amount of numbers that you have. So if we had 20 numbers, we would times this by 20. So that is all for question number 1. Question number 2 is the same types of information, and so you'll work it the same way. Open in Excel and sort it and do 0.15 times, you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 numbers, so 0.15 times 9, 0.17 times 0.35 times 9, and then 0.85 times 9, and then you count how many numbers that is and select that number. Okay, now for the percentile rank, if you click on View an Example, you take the number of values below the number you're looking at, so count however many numbers are below it, and you add 0.5 to that, and then you divide by the total number of values, and then you can times it by 100 or move the decimal 2 places to the right. So if I open this in Excel, first I want to sort this. So I go to Data, and I sort. And then I want to find the percentile rank, or I believe it was 50. The percentile rank for 50. So how many numbers do I have below 50? Well, I have 7 below 50 from here on. So I want to do 7 plus 0.5, which is 7.5, and I want to divide it by the total amount of numbers I have, which is 10. So I get 0.75. If you times that by 100 or move anytime you multiply 100, you're moving the decimal 2 places to the right. So 50 would be in the 75th percentile rank. Now, percentile rank for 30. So how many numbers do I have below 30? I have 2 numbers below 30. So I would do 2 numbers plus 0.5 would be 2.5 divided by 10. We're still dividing by 10 because we have 10 numbers still. That would be the 25th percentile rank, and that is how I get 25. And then the rank for 15, well, you only have one number below 15. So 1 plus 0.5 would be 1.5 divided by 10 would be 0.15, times that by 100, and you would get the 15th percentile. So that's all for question number 3. Question number 4 is the same thing. Determine the percentile rank. You put them in order. Count how many numbers are below 95. And however many numbers are below 95, say you had 5 numbers below 95, you would do 5 plus 0.5, which is 5.5, and divide it by however many numbers we have here, and then times it by 100. Now, to determine the quartiles for this data, the first quartile, the second quartile, and the third quartile, if you want to do that by hand, let me show you the formula. So you do I equals P over 100 times N. You want to rearrange the data always from smallest to largest. Now, the first quartile is a 25th percentile, and then the second quartile would be the 50th percentile. Think about quarters. 1 quarter is 25, 2 quarters 50, and so forth. So let's find the first, second, and third quartile for these numbers here. So you want to open it in Excel. Okay, so when you do these calculations, you can do the 0.25 and the 0.50 and the 0.75 times the number of values that you have. So I'm going to show you how to do these using the Excel way. And you're going to do equals, and then you're going to do percentile. Let's do quartile. And you're going to do the array. And then you're going to do the comma. And then the quartile, you can do the first quartile. And then, so you could do 1. And you get 18. And then you can do the second quartile by highlighting your array. And then doing 2. And then you can do the third quartile by same thing. Double click on it, highlight your array, and this is probably the best way to calculate this. So 18, 27, and 27. And then your interquartile range is your largest minus your smallest, and that's how you get 9. Number 6, the 5-number summary. You basically, you can do this in Excel. This is your smallest number, this is your largest number, and then this is your first, second, and third quartile. So you could do this in Excel again, just fine, put it in order. That's all the 5-number summary is. So your minimum value is 19, your maximum value is 64, and then you would do your quartiles. So you would do highlight, comma 1, and then highlight number . So if you look at that, if you look at our answer, it's the minimum, the first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, and the maximum value. That is your 5-number summary. Number 7, determine the percentile by looking at these numbers. So you open in Excel, and I can't remember exactly how I did this, but if we want to do the 70th percentile, I would say you always want to arrange it. Let's just try it and see if it works. Percentile. Let's try another one. Let's do the array. And let's just try 0.7 and see what it brings back and see if that's right. That is not quite right, so let's look at it again. Let's try this one. Okay, that one is right. So you need to make sure that you use the right formula, percentile.exe, and then you would highlight this, and then you would do the 0.70, and that is how you would get it. Now, if we wanted to do this by hand, it says use technology. So this is something you could do. P over 100 times n, and I think we did this already. So 70 over 100 times n. Yes, we did this already. Determine the 70th percentile. But on this one, I would recommend that you use technology, which means use Excel. For question number 8, determine the percentile rank for the runs scored by team N. So if you open this in Excel, and really you don't have to sort it, it's already sorted for you. And I think I just used by hand on this one. You do the number of values below what you're looking at, plus 0.5, divided by the total number of values, and times it by 100. So here, for n, the total number of values below it would just be these two. So 2.2 plus 0.5, which would be 2.5 divided by, you have 17. So you would get 0.14. Let's make sure that's right. And I think I opened the wrong thing. So let's just look at it here. The percentile rank for N, we have, here's N, and I think we have 16 values here. So 2 below it, 2.5 divided by 16. And you would get, and you want to round to 1 decimal place. Remember, it's the number of values below what you're looking at plus 0.5. So we have 2 below it. Add 0.5 to that. That would be 2.5. And then divided by all your values, which is 16 here. And that's how you get 15.6. Because you get 0.15625. Well, if you move the decimal 2 places or times it by 100, you would get 15.625, and you round that to 15.6. The percentile rank for E, how many are below that? Well, if you count it all below it, well, I know there's one, if you count E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above it, or 4 above it plus the 5. So below it would only be 11. So 11 divided by 16. Wait, 11 plus 0.5. 11.5 divided by 16 times 100 would be 71.875, which rounds